Oh, hey, I'm Marc, a professional artist and art teacher, and in today's video, we'll be reviewing this new tablet by XP Pen. This is the Innovator 16. This is meant to be like a slightly higher end version of their other 16-inch tablet that I also reviewed recently. So today we're going to find out what's different about this one, why is it more expensive, and which one you should get if you're in the market for a display tablet like this thing here. Let's check it out. Alright, so as I said, this tablet here, the Innovator 16, is meant to be a higher end version of the Artist 15.6 Pro by XP Pen, a tablet that they released last year. It costs $500 US compared to the other tablet that's only $450. Now, $50 difference is not a whole lot, so we'll see here just how much more you get for your money if you decide to get this model instead. But first of all, of course, let's check out what's in the box. When you open it, the first thing you see is the tablet itself, of course, and then underneath here, well, we have all the other goodies. So we're gonna have the outlet adapters on the left there. Then we have the stand, the plastic stand for the tablet, which is exactly the same as the one for the Artist 15.6 Pro. It does the job, but it's kind of flimsy, and it's just one extra thing that you need to carry around. Then we have the little packet here with some of the manuals, a little wiping cloth, nothing too interesting. In the other box here, we have the cables. So this is going to be the same Hydra cable that you would find on the other tablet I reviewed, for which, by the way, you can find a link down in the description below. So basically, connected to the tablet is a single USB-C port, and then that connects to your computer through HDMI and USB. And you have the option to use a secondary USB cable for power, or you can connect that USB cable to the power adapter to plug it into the wall. But yeah, basically this means that you can travel with this and use only your laptop to power the tablet, which is pretty nice. And then you have the pen itself, which is slightly different, but the difference is mostly visual. I didn't notice any difference between the two. Also, fun fact, they are interchangeable, so you can use either pen for either tablet. Now, if we take a look at the actual tablet here, the main difference that I've noticed, obviously, is the look of it. So it looks significantly different. It looks better, to me at least, than the Artist series. Just a cleaner, slimmer look overall, and that's going to be the main difference here, just how thick it is and its overall footprint compared to the other tablet. Because the thickness here is just a little under 1 centimeter, so it is very slim. And for me, I would use something like this as a portable tablet, something that I can bring, when I travel. And so I do appreciate this slimmer profile, but other than those things, you have the same amount of customizable keys. You also get the same film covering the screen, the glass screen. So once again, I'm not a big fan of that because it can get damaged pretty easily. Of course, you can always swap it out to a brand new one, but I don't want to have to do that. I wish for this version, they used a stronger glass instead, so that film wouldn't be required. And then when it comes to the rest of the stats for the display panel, very, very similar across the board. The only major difference is going to be in the quality of the colors, and I say major, but that's a joke. The older XP Pen model features 120% sRGB color gamut, which is almost 90% of the Adobe gamut. Now this one, instead of 120% sRGB, it's 125%. So not really any different. And really, this tablet is just an almost identical clone of their previous model, but with a slimmer profile and a nicer design, in my opinion. Here we can compare the two side by side. The main thing that you'll notice is really just the height that's different. When it comes to the width of the tablet, that's going to be identical. The height is a little bit less on the newer tablet, the newer model. And of course, it is slimmer, but it connects exactly the same way to the computer. And yeah, in terms of the weight, it is going to be very, very similar. Just by hand, I couldn't notice any difference. Now, just to check, I did make a quick test with the two tablets side by side and loading up some very colorful images to see if there was any significant differences between the colors. And I will say that the newer version, the Innovator 16, does look slightly richer in terms of colors. So with just my naked eye, I could spot a slight difference, but it is very slightly better. Now, all of this is good to know, but what really matters is how this thing feels when you're actually painting on it or sculpting in 3D. I've had the tablet for a little over a week now, so I've been playing around with it quite a bit, and I was very curious to see if my main piece of feedback from the last review had been addressed or not yet. But yeah, unfortunately, everything is just the same as the other tablet. So there's a slight slight delay in activation, you know, with the initial activation of the pen tip. If you don't press hard enough, sometimes your brush stroke won't get registered. Or, you know, if I'm just color picking, selecting different colors, but I'm going too quickly, or if I don't press hard enough, then it's as if nothing happened and I have to do it again. So that's a little bit annoying, of course, but it is very subtle, just as subtle as it was on the previous tablet. And this seems to be a feature of all the XP Pen tablets that I've reviewed recently. So this is something that I'm really, you know, hoping that they fix in the future, because it is a defect in the device, or maybe it's just the pen, I don't know, but this is a big one that they should definitely fix, definitely improve. So I was slightly disappointed that, you know, the pen itself is no better than the previous one, that the screen itself is really not that much better, and that it's overall the same technology across the board. At least that's what it feels like when using it. I was also slightly disappointed when I first got it that it wasn't any more than 1080p, but then again, once I found out that the price difference was only $50, then yeah, that made more sense. With all of that said though, the painting experience here is very, very nice. The surface feels good, there's not much parallax, and it's very, very responsive. Of course, I tested all the usual, making sure that there's no, you know, dead pixels or dead spots on the screen, and there were none of that. It also did not get hotter even after, you know, many hours of working on it. It gets a little warm around the area where you plug in the USB-C cable, but it's definitely not hot. Overall, I was very pleased with it. And one thing that I will say is, after trying all these tablets and you know, spending some time with them, that initial activation of the pen is starting to bother me less and less. I'm getting used to it. So I'm sure if this was your first tablet and you've never experienced like a Wacom or painting on an iPad, that this would not be a problem at all for you. The only downside, the real downside to it, for me at least as an artist, would be that when you press very, very gently to start like a line that's very fine, you're gonna have a hard time getting what you want. So you can start with a bigger stroke and then reduce the pressure to get a very fine line. It works that way. The other way around, not so much, because of that initial activation sensitivity issue. To be honest though, as you see me working here, it wasn't really a problem. It's definitely not something that I keep thinking about as I'm working. I just wish to fix that, because when it comes to XP Pen tablets, those are really like two of my main criticisms. The fact that they still have a protective film over their glass, because the glass is not good enough and it will scratch up if you remove the film, and the initial activation of the pen. Of course, it would be nice to have some better panels so that the colors are better and the resolution is better, but to be honest, at this price point, even if it's $50 more than the other tablet, it's still incredibly affordable. And now let's take a look at my new tablet's charts now that I've reviewed a bunch, to see where this one places compared to the other ones. And of course, more importantly, if it's worth the money. So here I have some very scientific charts that I'm gonna quickly explain so that this makes a little bit more sense. First thing we have to understand with this is that everything that's outside of these circles is not good. Everything that's towards the center of the chart is good. And basically, as long as the tablet is within any circle, it's doing something right. But basically, I've split it in three different things that I feel are the most important to me, at least, and probably to most people in general. And those three characteristics would be the affordability, the quality of the tablet, the quality of the tech, and just the enjoyment of using the product. The opposite of enjoyment would be things like annoying flaws, problems in the drivers, and things that make just the overall experience less fun. I only have two tablets outside of this circle, as you can see, the iPad and the Artist 22 Pro by XP Pen. The main reason, for example, why I have this one outside of the circle is because it uses older tech where you need to charge your pens. And so it's happened to me a number of times where I just can't draw because I forgot to charge the damn pen. Not enjoyable. Very affordable though. And this one here, I think I need to explain the iPad a little bit before I get a ton of hate comments. I placed it only in the tablet quality circle because it's a quality device, great resolution, great colors, not very affordable. And for me, the fact that it's a tablet without any hotkeys, without keyboards, without any shortcuts really, and also just the glass surface of the screen are all things that really, really turn me off when it comes to drawing. I have one myself and I just really hate using it. Of course, this is more of a personal thing, but yeah, I've never really enjoyed the experience. Now, when those circles intersect, though, this is where the good stuff is. So if it's only affordable, and it's kind of cheap. If it's a tablet that's great to use, but it's not affordable and it isn't really up to the standards of today when it comes to tech or to its technology, then it fits in that circle. If it's just a tech gadget, so high quality but expensive and not as great to use, then it fits in here. If it's both affordable and enjoyable, then it's great value. So that's a great place to be. If it's a great build quality, great technology, and affordable, but it's not enjoyable at all, then it's probably because there's going to be some big flaw in the device, like a bug or something that makes it really annoying to use. And here I couldn't think of any to put in that section. Next, we have amazing but expensive tablets. Of course, that's where we're going to find all the Cintiq Pros, the best tools you can get, but they are definitely not affordable. And then we have the main intersection in the center, and that is a great spot to be in. So this is where I placed the Artist 24 Pro that I reviewed last time, but I still placed it closer to the affordability circle, a little bit further away from the enjoyment and tablet quality circle, because yes, the tablet quality is pretty good, but it's definitely not as good as the Cintiqs, and it would have been slightly more enjoyable if it didn't have the few issues that I mentioned during the review. And then finally, in the center, I don't have anything here yet, but that would be the perfect tablet. Not too expensive, the best technology without any issues. We're still looking for this one. Now, where do you think I'm going to place the Innovator 16 in the context of this chart here? Oh, there it is. So here, very similar to its little brother, the Artist 15.6 Pro. The main difference between the two here is that I'm going to have this one slightly closer to the enjoyment circle and a little bit further away from the affordability circle because it is more expensive. And the fact that it looks and feels a little bit more premium, it's a little bit slimmer, looks better, to me, adds to the enjoyment. But yeah, there you go. As long as the tablet is in the purple, the brown, or the dark green section, it's what I consider the real good stuff. The Innovator 16 I feel is a good tablet for the price. It's portable too, so that's an extra bonus. Now, to be honest, for a tablet that's so similar yet more expensive, I was expecting a little bit more, but as I said at the beginning, $50 difference is not a big deal. It really depends what $50 is worth to you. Me personally, yes, I would probably take the Innovator 16 over the Artist 15.6 Pro. I just think it looks better. For traveling and that kind of stuff, it's really not going to change much. They're both so similar. They weigh the same and they're about the same size. So you're really paying $50 extra for a cosmetic upgrade. At $500 though, if you compare it to the Wacom Cintiqs, it is a fantastic deal. So in my opinion, yes, it is totally worth it. I just feel like it was a missed opportunity to really branch out from their regular series into something that's a little bit more premium kind of overall. So there you go. We'll see what happens in the future with new tablet releases. And I hope this short review was helpful in helping you make your decision if you're shopping for one of these things. Now, if you end up getting the Innovator 16, which by the way just came out at the time of this video, let me know how you like it. Let me know if the initial pen activation issue is an issue at all for you, or if there's anything else that I haven't mentioned that you think people should know about. So yeah, that's that. I hope the review was helpful. All right, I'll see you guys.